Hello, this is Jacob Hay
and Mira
of 23 BC. And we're waiting on our friend Jeff Penyabash to show up. He's going to talk with us about a few things. And we're going to do some songs for you. And yeah, it should be a good night.
Hopefully, we'll do this. Keep on.
It'll be a good night.
It is a good night.
There he is, the man himself, Mr. Jeff Penyabash, coming in.
Alright, we gotta get his mic set up then too. Which one is that?
This is the pink one.
The pink one?
Hey, Jeff.
So it's a fancy recording studio you got here.
Yeah.
Radio studio, pardon me.
So have a seat, we've got a microphone for you.
Is this Uriel?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Uriel. I've heard your name many times, and now I get to actually meet you.
So I heard a great many things about you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right. I hope they've all been good.
Like I said, many great things. All right, but we are actually broadcasting right now.
We are broadcasting.
We're on the air?
Yes, we are.
Ah, good.
Check that. Okay.
Well, we're probably going to start off by doing a song, though.
Yeah, why do you want to do that?
23 BC.
I got to tune this thing first.
Alright, and Muriel's got to tune his guitar. You should probably sit over there so you can use that microphone.
Okay.
So how you doing?
All right. How about you?
Pretty good. Got some books to show you.
Good. Are you able to play CDs over this show?
Probably, but I'm not quite sure how.
Oh, okay. Because I brought a couple CDs along just in case.
Alright, we're going to start you guys off with a song of our own. This one is called 23 BC, Part 1. Consume me and send me on my way, drifting in and out of the thoughts behind your face. I hear the prophets invoke the ways beyond your ways. I hear a distant call as the wind begins to sway. Neath the waters in the firmament of day, as I read the writer's scroll, I seem to hear his voice, sounds of colors and of patterns breaching mind's wall of choice. Take us to your world, Sky Mira, Sky Mira, won't you let your love unfurl? BC, Part 1 by 23 BC.
Try and keep them like, I think just the gain is just turned up, or you're a little close mic.
I've never touched any of that.
No, yeah, I know, you're fine. It's just, it was distorting. You want them peaks
Oh, you
just to
can
like,
hear it out there?
yeah. You want the peaks just to be like right
I don't
above
think I ever
there.
heard that one
So
before.
like, if overall, you know, just turn down all these a little bit, but the phone shouldn't be on.
Oh, and I thought those were headphones.
Oh, that's why it sounded like that. Okay. Okay, no, it's cool. This is your volume for your headphones.
Oh,
Okay, sorry, guys.
Just making some adjustments there. All right, we've got Mr. Jeff Pinyabash in the studio with us. And how you doing today, Jeff?
I'm doing okay.
Can you hear him all right?
Yeah, keep on.
I should keep on talking so you can turn those things up and down to make sure that it is loud
I'm
enough.
gonna turn the gain back up a little bit, since, because I didn't realize that thing was, this should help a little bit.
I gotta get some different headphones.
Oh, those, yeah.
So, Jeff, I see you have some poetry there.
This is your volume for your headphones. You can put
Yeah, I brought a
I'll go
couple
get another
poems
one.
along by Denise Levertov, who is one of the, she's in the Beat Nexus. She wasn't actually a beat poet, but she was in the Nexus. And she was the first really great poet that I heard read live in Milwaukee. This was even before I heard Allen Ginsberg some years ago. And well, today is a certain day that is commemorated not so much in this country as probably in Japan. Everybody knows that, or I think knows that Hiroshima Day is August 6th, but not many people know that Nagasaki Day is August 9th, and so that's today. And so I thought I would bring in a couple poems by Denise Levertov that get into that. The first one is, well, both these poems are from her 1984 book, Oblique Prayers. And the first one is called Watching Dark Circle. Dark Circle was a 1982 documentary exposing the connection between the nuclear power industry and the nuclear weapons industry. And there were scenes from the bomb tests that were staged after the initial bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This was during the later 40s and into the 1950s. And one of the famous scenes is at the spot where they dropped one of these bombs. They had pigs in cages because they wanted to see what would happen to these pigs if they dropped an atom bomb, you know, in their vicinity. It would seem pretty obvious what would happen, but anyway, this is Watching Dark Circle. Men are willing to observe the writhing, the bubbling flesh and swift but protracted charring of bone, while the subject pigs placed in cages designed for this don't pass out, but continue to scream as they turn to cinder. The Pentagon wants to know something a child could tell it. It hurts to burn, and even a match can make you scream, pigs or people. Even the smallest common flame can kill you. This plutonic calefaction is redundant. Men are willing to call the roasting of live pigs a simulation of certain conditions. It is not a simulation. The pigs, with their high-rated intelligence, their uncanny precognition of disaster, are real. Their agony, real agony. The smell is not archetypal breakfast, nor ancient feasting, but a foul miasma irremovable from the nostrils. and the simulation of hell these men have carefully set up is hell itself, and they in it, dead in their lives. And what can redeem them? What can redeem them? So that was one she wrote in around 1982, I guess, when Dark Circle came out. And in the same book is a 1977 poem that...
I just wanted to say that not only were they testing those atom bombs on pigs, but they were also testing them on human beings who, on the islands.
Good point, yeah.
Tribal societies.
That's right. That's right. They didn't know they were guinea pigs, but alas, they were. Okay, so this was the original guinea pigs in 1945. This is a poem that Denise Levertov wrote in 1977. She harkens back to when this happened. Most people were not horrified in this country. They were rejoicing because the war against Japan was over.
Even though they already surrendered.
Yeah, right. There are all kinds of details to this that would make other poems. But at the time, they didn't know that, or some of them didn't know that. The people who could have done something about it knew about it and didn't. But anyway, this is called, and you may know what a shadow graph is. It was after the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yeah, the imprint of their shadows were somehow scorched into cement and stone and so forth. So that figures into the poem. It's called, and this is by Denise Levertov again, great poet who died about 1997, I think. She died December 1997, 20 years after she wrote this poem. On the 32nd anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, a new bomb, big one, drops a long way beyond the fence of our minds' property, and they tell us, with this, the war is over. We were 20 years old, or thereabouts. Now stale uniforms can fall off our backs, replaced by silk of youth. Relief, not awe, gasps from our mouths and widened, ignorant eyes. We've been used to the daily recitation of death's multiplication tables. We don't notice the quantum leap, 87,000 killed outright by a single bomb, 51,000 missing or injured. We were nurses, refugees, sailors, soldiers, familiar with many guises of death. War had ended our childhood. We knew about regular bomb craters, torpedoes, gas ovens. This we ignored. The rumor was distant traffic. Louder were our heartbeats. Summer was springtime. The war is over. And on the third day, no one rose from the dead at Hiroshima, and at Nagasaki, the exploit was repeated, as if to insist we take notice. 73,000 killed by one bomb, 74,000 injured or missing. Familiar, simple arithmetic of mortal flesh did not serve. The war was over, was all we knew, and a vague wonder, what next? What will ordinary life be like now? Ordinary life as we know it is gone. But the shadow, the human shadow graph sinking itself indelibly upon stone at Hiroshima as a man, woman, or child was consumed in unearthly fire, that shadow already had been for 3 days imprinted upon our lives. 3 decades now we have lived with its fingers outstretched in horror, clinging to our future, our children's future, into history or the void. The shadow's voice cries out to us to cry out. Its nails dig into our souls to wake them. Something, it ceaselessly repeats, its silence a whisper, its whisper a shriek. Something can yet be salvaged upon the earth. Try to survive. Try to redeem the human vision from cesspits where human hands have thrown it, as I was thrown from life into shadow. So we think the Cold War is over and we don't have to worry about the bomb anymore. Well, terrorists can carry them in suitcases into crowded cities. They don't need to even fly airplanes into anything. It's pretty scary. So we hope it doesn't get to that. But when people freak out with a gun, in Oak Creek, just know that there are people out there who, if they had an atom bomb, would use it as casually as that guy used a gun, or, other people have done terrible things with guns. That's just because they can't get their hands on bombs, I guess.
Did you know, I didn't tell you, but the FBI came over to my place recently.
Oh, really?
Because shortly before that shooting, I was calling different houses of worship, including a Sikh temple and other places.
Oh, really?
To
Wow.
find out when they're open, because I'd like to visit these different places. You know? And the FBI and some of the local police came over to my place asking me questions because I made these calls.
Wow. That's ironic.
Yeah.
And when you consider this guy was a neo-Nazi and you are a scholar of how the swastika, which in ancient primal times among primal people was a sacred symbol, how the Nazis perverted that image. So this guy who did all the shooting down there, do you know what the name of his band was?
Yeah.
What?
That's even ironic.
End
for apathy.
It was End Apathy.
Yeah.
End
Right.
Apathy.
So maybe they saw my swastikophobia project and saw
Maybe.
Art Not Apathy, and they saw that I made all these phone calls to temples of worship.
That's right.
And then put those three together and said, "Oh, we gotta get this guy."
Yeah, they'll be on his trail while the real terrorists are,
Right.
on the
you,
loose.
FBI.
But yeah, because Jacob here has he used to call it art against apathy.
Art Not Apathy.
Art Not Apathy, right? And then now you're going more with O for I, which is Organization for Inspiration.
The organization is called Organization for Inspiration, and the organization does Art Not Apathy events.
All right.
Along with other projects.
So, yeah. So, if Jacob here needs any character witnesses to prove that he's not a terrorist or a Nazi, I will gladly put my hand on any sacred scripture to testify.
Yeah, me too. I was there, please kind of still.
But why don't we? Do you want to do another song?
I don't care.
Let's do another song.
Now that everyone's all bummed out, we have to sort of cheer us up. Well, that's what the shadow graph was saying, is you gotta somehow salvage the world. I guess that's what we've been trying to do.
This is what you have to. You can't focus on the crazy people. You have to focus on the good people.
Yeah.
Back to power.
Okay, so I'm thinking either Someone to See or how about Someone to See? This is another original 23 BC song. This one's called Someone to See. Why can't I have somebody, someone to see? When so many other people seem attracted to me, why can't I have somebody, someone to see? when everyone I see has somebody. I don't know what's happening to me now. I don't know why I'm always by myself, when I just want someone to love, someone who loves me, someone to hold, someone to make me feel happy and be at ease. Why can't I have somebody, someone to see? So many other people seem attracted to me. Why can't I have somebody, someone to see? When everyone I see has somebody. Why does love have to come packaged in a box, with terms and conditions and lies and all of your mistrusts? Girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands and fiancés. Own her, own him, buy him and take him away so you can get laid. Why can't I have somebody, someone to see? When so many other people seem attracted to me. Why can't I have somebody, someone to see? When everyone I see has somebody. Well, I can't find a way to break through my love. Felt so attracted to so many people I've known. It twists and tangles and mangles my abilities, and all I really want is to break free. I'd be at ease. Why can't I have somebody, someone to see? When so many other people seem attracted to me. Why can't I have somebody, someone to see? When everyone I see has somebody. Why can't I have somebody, someone to see? When everyone I see has somebody. That was Someone to See by 23 BC.
Ah,
It was.
you didn't write that one yourself.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
And you said it was something by something BC. What was that?
That's our band. 23
Oh,
BC.
I see.
We're on 23
Yeah, that's a
BC
pretty
radio.
nifty song. That song should get you a date, you know?
It should get us a day, right? Okay. His mustache gets him. Yeah,
That's right,
Speaking
that's
of
right.
mustache, his mustache got a member of another band's girl all up on him yesterday at the
Uh-oh.
touring.
We're at Modest Yahoo, and we actually got to meet Modest Yahoo after the show.
Yes, it was awesome.
And he's a really humble guy. I was really happy to meet him, and I was really happy to tell him how much his music means to me in person. And
Great.
but
Rasta McCabe too. That was pretty cool.
yeah, we met Rasta McCabe. Pretty cool band.
Yeah.
And
So did he say anything about the unrest in the Middle East? Did he have any songs that went into that?
Yeah, he was. Not really. I don't think he really wants to push that agenda. I don't really want to take
Talk a little further into the mic.
Yeah,
probably doesn't want
but
to
not a
take
matter of taking sides. You could just do a general peace song, you know, invoking
One day,
peace.
obviously.
Yeah, he has a song
we should do
that's
that. Wanna do it?
called One Day. Yeah,
Can you do that song?
Yeah, we do cover
All right.
that song. So why don't we show you one of his songs?
Yeah, that way people out there who haven't heard the guy will know what he's
great.
like.
You need to check him out. You need to check him out.
He's a Jewish reggae guy from, is he from Israel?
He can rap too. Man.
He's
Rap?
from America.
He's American. Okay.
So this is a cover of Matisyahu's song One Day. In a moment after Uriel tunes his guitar. Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving though the water's still raging. In this maze you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it faze you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play. One day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. One day this all will change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, start with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like wah-yo, wah-yo-yo-yo, wah-yo. All my life I've been waiting for and been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Oh, 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 That was a cover of Matisyahu's song One Day.
Beautiful. That answered my question. He did write a song on that subject, but it covered
Everything.
the entire world. Yeah, all the way to Oak Creek and points outside of that as well.
Jeff, I thought I might show you this book. It's a book I picked up recently. It's a very interesting book, the Keys of Enoch. The Book of Knowledge. It's very, very strange. Some of it,
Wow.
some of it is almost as if it has been written by an extraterrestrial.
Yeah, that looks an amazing cover. It's got the word Yahweh, which you're not supposed to even write or say.
Oops.
And it's right over the Holy Spirit of Christianity, the dove with wings outstretched, and the Holy Trinity sort of halo. Yeah, interesting book. I hope, is it good?
It's fascinating. I don't know what to think of it yet, but it's fascinating.
Well, as long as it's not invoking, war and other forms of mayhem,
No, it's not.
it might even, be helpful as a substitute in some situations for the actual Bible. I always thought, people take the Bible too seriously. What if they called it the Bible? What if it was a short I rather than a long I?
Bible.
I mean, who would believe in the Bible? So I think they'd, give it a little more looseness for interpretation, and not have to go along with all the bad stuff that's in there, because there is some good stuff.
Well, let's read a little section out of this book. It's called The Book of Knowledge, The Keys of Enoch.
Okay.
It says, the key to our astrophysical time zones is the 3-in-1 alignment of consciousness forces in the Great Pyramid with the 12-in-1 energies of time warp pyramids centered and controlled by the many-in-1 throne energies of Orionus and the Pleiades. This key is speaking directly of consciousness programming. It is telling us that consciousness programming is connected with the Great Pyramid, which was referred to in the mystical scriptures of the ancient Near East as the foundation stone. The consciousness forces of the Great Pyramid are cued with specific star points which are working with planetary time warp areas. In order to understand what time warp areas represent, we have to understand the time warp fields as a type of energy pyramid. First, we must look at the geophysical time warps of the Earth with its meridians drawn according to the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. And it goes on like this. It's very interesting. Elohim, Lords of Light, positive programming, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, and Tacharion, Orionus.
Mm-hmm.
It's very strange.
I can see why that might appeal to you. It had pyramids in it, for one thing.
And one thing in here that I found interesting is how it explains the. It says the keys to the living biophysical and astrophysical universe are the living light pyramids of life existing within every structure, within every field of creation. Enoch is telling us that each level of evolution has a pyramid of light through which the human creation must pass on its way into the greater creation. If we are to go beyond our three-dimensional set of creation, we must go through our three-dimensional field of energy into the multi-dimensional fields of pyramidal light energy. Therefore, each pyramid of light is energized with Yod-He-Vav-He's eye in the center of the pyramid. This is a cosmological constant which enables every realm of intelligence to be reprogrammed into a higher level of creation when they can go through their pyramidal energy fields of creation. Thus, the pyramid, the eternal programming of Yod-He-Vav-He's eye, is there with you at all times and is working with every level of evolution. I'm going to read one more section here. If you look at a platinum crystal under a field ion microscope, you will see bubble formations which form pyramid shapes of light going from every stage of geometry all the way through the immediate field of the crystal. If you look at blood crystals under an electron microscope, you can find the shape of the pyramidal field in the crystal forms of blood. What you are seeing is the Merkaba, which connects the key pyramid so that the light can be used in unfolding the next stage of evolution.
Wow. It sounds like good. It doesn't sound like he's invoking some kind of bummer thing.
No.
Yeah. So Enoch.
Have you read the books of Enoch?
No.
That's very interesting.
What's Enoch about?
You should talk into the microphone.
Yeah. What's Enoch up to or about?
Well, from what I read 3 different translations of it: the Ethiopian translation, the Hebrew translation, and the Greek translation. Really didn't like the Hebrew translation too much, but it made me feel horrible that I didn't praise God enough. That's one thing. That was pretty funny. But Enoch went to live in heaven for 600 years. The Archangel Uriel showed him through, counted all the stars with him, gave him the, broke down the the mathematical equations of the sun cycle, the star cycle, the moon cycle around the Earth. Number for number, I skipped probably about 30 or 40 pages of just numbers.
Wow, sounds pretty wild.
He came, the Archangel Uriel and Gabriel gave him a tour of heaven. There's 10 levels of heaven, supposedly. But if you read what it says in like...
well, yeah, 10 levels of heaven, the 10 Sephiroth of the Kabbalic Tree of Life.
All right, but you got to realize that it goes deeper than that. This is before that. Like, this is before there was a Sephiroth. This is like way back. This is Genesis. This is what did they?
No, that all Sephiroth came at the dawn of creation.
All right, well, that's what I mean.
Wow.
That's the point of that. It's an interpretation for a different body. Thus, our body, its body, heaven's body. But, lower level obviously had all the imprisonment of all the angels, or supposed angels that did wrong against God. And I don't remember the exact levels of it, but God was at the top. And Enoch fell to the ground. He was blind, couldn't see the godly light of God. But it does kind of almost give an extraterrestrial kind of feel to it because the way the chariot of fire came down, it was a circular.
Oh, right, right.
And if they explained the animals that were carrying it were like, if you know anybody knows who the Anunnaki is, I don't almost feel comfortable.
Who, what is?
The Anunnaki. I don't even know if I feel comfortable saying this over the radio.
Okay.
Because it's like a taboo subject almost, but yeah,
wow.
They were supposedly maybe our genetic creators. Supposedly, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm not saying it's not true, but it gives some validity to that there might be an alien race out there. That's why they took it out of the Bible in the 15th century. It's basically kind of almost giving you, hey, there's people from another world that came down here, and they also took it out of the Bible because people were making shrines to the Archangel Uriel. He was so magnificent, just like I.
Just like you. Let's all bow down.
All about I.
Wow. I bet this subject has never been broached on radio in Milwaukee before,
Might not have.
This is pretty deep territory. They usually don't go that deep.
No, I'm not even that very fluent in it, so...
This is another book I picked up recently, The Tablets of Bahai.
Ah, yeah. The founder of Bahai?
Yes.
All right.
Very interesting stuff.
Get Bahai.
Get Bahai.
I like that girl's stockings. They're very interesting.
Yeah, let's get that girl in here and so we can describe her stockings to your radio audience.
But I'm really impressed by the Baha'is, and I really like what they're doing. I've been...
Yeah, I have friends who are Baha'i. Yeah, they're like the Unitarians in a way because they accept all religions and creeds and are very tolerant, and they get persecuted in Muslim countries because that's where they come out of, the Muslim countries. Same thing with Sufism. Yep. You know who founded Sufism?
Refresh my memory.
Rumi, R-U-M-I.
Rumi, of course.
Okay.
How did I forget?
Rumi, who lived around the time of Saint Francis of Assisi in Persia, which is now Iran. Ironically, he was born in Afghanistan and lived in Iran and Iraq. This guy, he is the best-loved poet in America. Best-selling poet in America right now. No lie. Yes, it's just amazing. Well, he's been given a lot of exposure on PBS, with Robert Bly, and Coleman Barks has translated the guy. So the guy's like, for peace, he does the whirling dervish thing where these whirling dervishes spin around like tops. They're mystics, and it's always the mystics who are the good guys, and then the fundamentalists are the ones who want to kill everybody who doesn't look at them as if they believe their side of
people got to realize
the story.
Opinions are just opinions.
Yeah,
They're
that's
not the
right.
truth because you cannot divine.
Yeah. Well, so that's who Rumi is. That's one of my
I
heroes.
love Rumi. I have a couple of his books. I have the Big Red Book. That's a good culmination.
You sure that's not Mao Zedong's book you're talking about?
No.
Oh, good. Because Rumi is a lot more peaceable than.
Yeah, the Big Red Book is a collection of some of the best of Rumi's
oh, I haven't seen that
poems.
one. I'll have to see that. Yeah.
But we're kind of running out of time.
Could I do one more poem?
Yes.
Okay. Because you know, or you may not know, you probably don't know, that this year is the 15th anniversary of the passing of Allen Ginsberg. And one of the sad things about the passing of Mark Shirilla, I don't know if you guys knew him, you may have heard about him when he was a rock and roll activist. He was a Buddy Holly impersonator, all around good guy. The guy would have Allen Ginsberg memorial events every 5 years, and there was going to be one later this year, and alas, he died. But maybe one will still happen. In any case, this is called, and I should tell you, Allen Ginsberg, the only time he was ever in Milwaukee where he wasn't going to give a poetry reading, but was just here to visit, was he crashed at my place in Antlers. We shared a rear cottage on Bremen Street, 2523B North Bremen. It's still there. There should be a plaque, Allen Ginsberg slept here. This was after Allen had read Antler's book, Last Words in manuscript, and was real bowled over by it. And he stopped in Milwaukee on his way back to New York from a Buddhist retreat in Land O'Lakes, Wisconsin, up north. This was 1976, October, early October, 76. But he died in 97. Last phone call from Allen. Just after 10 p.m., April 1st, my last phone call from Allen. Liver cancer, 3 to 4 months to live. He said he was at peace with his dying, not afraid, had just written a funny poem about his own funeral. His only regret, he wouldn't be able to go ahead with plans to feature him on Unplugged, backed by Dylan and McCartney. His old age dream of becoming a rock star nipped in the bud. Just as abrupt a surprise as the news he was dying came the news he was dead. Stroke followed by heart attack just a few days later. Suddenly there was a huge hole in the universe, a constellation big as Orion that helped us navigate our lives was gone. Not completely gone, of course. The poems, songs, photos, films, interviews, recordings remain. The light he planted tirelessly far and wide, like a planetary Johnny Enlightenment seed, remains. He was like a de Tocqueville from another planet, perusing the panorama of earthling follies with eyes of clarity and a sense of humor combined with a sacred heart of compassion. He was a little David, with the humble, glorious, ancient slingshot of poetry, braved a showdown with the giant monster Moloch, whose skyscrapers stand in the long streets like endless Jehovahs. He combined David's psalmody with the Song of Solomon's eroticism. Okay, a little more graphic. The prophets Jeremiads and a Christ-like nerve to tell off the Pharisees. When asked what he had hoped to do, he said, exemplify muse power to young, avert future suicide. Allen carried a torch for America more than the Statue of Liberty, sang torch songs for the human form divine, regardless of nationality, race, or sexual orientation. Carried the torch of DNA into posterity, though his fatherhood, like Whitman's, was spiritual rather than genetic. He wrestled with Yahweh. He declared the end of the Vietnam War in 1965. He wrestled with Yahweh, Allah, and plutonium. He tweaked the nose of tyranny, whether its guise be capitalist or communist. He carried a torch for his old flame, humanity, as distinctly opposed to inhumanity. Good thing there are so many left behind who loved him, who can carry forward into a deeply uncertain future such a heavy torch, the burden of keeping bright so much light and adding to it. What he said in his 1955 elegy to Whitman could be said as well about Allen himself now. Ah, dear father, graybeard, lonely old courage teacher, what America did you have when Charon quit poling his ferry and you got out on a smoking bank and stood watching the boat disappear on the black waters of Lethe? Yeah, rest in eternity, Ellen. But
Amen.
Watch over us, Bodhisattva, like from the beyond.
And namaste.
You're inspiring me to read a bunch of Allen Ginsberg. He told me that you would.
No, he crashed at my place. He was there for about 3 days. Yeah, it was the rear cottage on Bremen Street that I shared with Antler at the time. We were both just young poets trying to send our poems out to poets that we admired, and Antler hit a bingo with Alan. He sent him a 3-page letter of, just bowled over and wanted to visit on his way back to New York. Yeah. So maybe later in the year, there'll still be some kind of memorial for Alan. But it won't be the same without Mark Shirilla, because the thing was, Mark Shirilla, and besides being a great Buddy Holly impersonator, and he did the Buddy Holiday thing every anniversary of the crashing of the famous plane with the Big Bopper and Richie Valens. He could do Allen Ginsberg songs so that they really went over. Like, Allen had a kind of unusual voice. So did Bob Dylan, but a lot of people just couldn't take Allen's singing. I actually liked his singing when he wasn't being when he wasn't being drowned out by rock bands that were playing too loud, you couldn't hear him. But if he would just if they were being, at a proper volume, or he was accompanying himself on harmonium, he had a beautiful, deep voice. But Marianne Faithfull said to Ellen, you shouldn't sing. But I disagree with Marianne Faithfull on that one, at least.
I do as well.
Yeah. I hope no angry Marianne Faithfull fans will call in after this show.
By the way, if anybody does want to call in, that number is 935-2951.
Well, I'm glad you didn't give my number. Yeah, let the guys who are next answer the phones about what we did here. They probably will know as much about it as we do anyway.
So I was thinking we could maybe do Breathe in the Air.
Yeah, that would be nice to, toward the end of things here.
Got about 6 minutes. 7 minutes.
So let's do Breathe in the Air in 23 BC Part 2.
Only if you want to.
And now we're going to do another original of ours. This one is called Breathe in the Air by 23 BC.
That sound right?
Breathe in the air, filled with all of your affairs, thoughts of hopelessness, and dreams of death and despair. When your entourage turns their backs on you, and all of your false beliefs rear their ugly faces, who then will you turn to? When will you leave your dark dreams and secluded places? Breathe in the air, filled with beauty and thoughtful prayer. Meditations making all give up. Your thoughts begin to control you. You're drinking from a broken cup that will only mend if you clear your view. So breathe in the air, filled with beauty and thoughtful prayer. Meditations making auras sweet, without a worry or a care. Breathe in the air, breathe in the air. What's there in the air? Who cares? Breathe in the air, breathe in the air.
All right.
That was Breathe in the Air by 23 BC.
You always got to remember to breathe.
Always got to remember to breathe, indeed.
Breathe the right way. Don't hyperventilate.
And don't go huffing.
Well, we've got
That's
enough
2
time
minutes.
to do our finishing song, 23 BC Part 2. Another original of ours.
Sorry, headphones are falling off.
Sky Mira, won't you take us to your world? Sky Mira, won't you let your love unfurl? I saw beneath the painting a mirror of a mind, with soft mimetic rhythms, artist's unspoken rhyme. It dances and it calls me to the time betwixt all time, undying and unending in the thought of endless mind. Again I tend to return to the palace in your palace, and await the muse to move me through the waves within your waves. I hear the darkness soothe me as the light refracts your ways, to keep me in the moment, to live another day. Sky Mira, won't you take us to
All right.
All right, yeah, that was our lovely show today.
23 BC, which is right now me, Jacob Hay, and introduce yourself.
Uriel Olsen, yes, indeed.
And thank you, Jeff Pinyavash, for coming into the studio with us tonight.
Hopefully you
Thanks
can
for
join
inviting me.
Hopefully
it
you can
made
join
Nagasaki Day a little brighter than it might be otherwise that we invoked that song by, who's that fellow that you sang the song by?
Modest Yahoo.
Yeah, that song and all the songs you've sung have been ample opposition to the repetition of gruesome incidents in history.
All right. But we have to jump off of here. We're supposed to jump off 3 minutes ago. All right, everybody. We'll hopefully
Have a good night.
Yes, we'll see you next week.
Namaste. Blessed be. Peace.